Hi, I'm Spencer, and 6 weeks ago I quit my job to be a full-time writer. Welcome to my first writing blog. So that intro is mostly true. I did quit my job 6 weeks ago. I posted a video a little bit ago. If you go back on this channel, you'll see I was a legal secretary for 10 years and recently left that job. And I've been writing full time ever since. I'm a young adult author. I have this book called Kind of Sort of Fine that came out a few years ago. I have another book coming out next year that's called This Could All Go Bad. And I did indeed quit my job to write full time, but not with the expectation that I would continue to just be a full time writer. I think eventually I will go back to a normal job, if you want to call it that, like a corporate job, probably. I don't think I'll be making a career as a full time writer necessarily anytime soon, but it's nice to have this period of, fun employment, as some people call it. So I'm having like a summer break, basically, for the first time in a lot of years. When did I graduate college? I don't know, like 15 years or something like that. So it's been fun, and I've been getting a lot of writing done. I had this idea that once I didn't have a job anymore, that my apartment would just be clean, like all the time, basically, because I would just kind of be able to like tidy up a little bit every day. And now I'm realizing that idea was a fantasy. I don't know what it is, but I feel like even though these 40 hours in a week opened up in my life and I have more time now, I feel like life just has a way of expanding to fill that vacuum. And now I feel like my apartment's not any cleaner. It doesn't stay any cleaner, despite my best efforts. So that kind of sucks. Okay, so today is Tuesday. Yesterday I was able to write a little over 1,000 words, which I feel good about. I don't really know how other writers feel or how, what word count people shoot for. But when I'm writing a rough draft, I feel like getting 1,000 words in a day kind of moves the ball down the field a sufficient amount that I can feel good about it. Well, it's now noon, and I haven't written a single word yet today. I got distracted by email and other items on my to-do list, so how about we actually try to do some writing, huh? All right, so it's Wednesday now, and yes, I'm wearing the same shirt I had on yesterday. We don't have to talk about it. Yesterday, I managed to only get about 550 words written, and honestly, today is looking about the same. I don't know that I really talked about what I'm writing. I'm working on what I would describe as another lower young adult book. My next book that's coming out early next year is about some boys who are on the verge of graduating 8th grade and about to go to high school, which I thought would be considered like a middle grade book initially, but then my publisher was like, no, we're gonna call this lower YA and push for it to be in with the young adult books. And so I'm trying to write another one around that same age category, and we'll see what happens with it. All right, it's a new day. You can tell because I have a different shirt on. It's Thursday now, and I'm writing outside again. You may have noticed I write outside often, and that's because I have this resolution this year to spend 1,000 hours outside. I made that goal at the beginning of the year, and I'll be honest, it's not going well. Not anywhere close to the amount of hours I should have at this point. And so now I'm just doing my best, and I'm writing outside even though it's like over 90 degrees today, and the sun is right on my face, as you can tell. Also, check this out. This is not a stable writing surface. I don't think a table is supposed to move like this at the gentlest of touch. But anyway, I'll just put my expensive electronics on it and I'm sure it'll be fine. So I wrote outside for all of 20 minutes, and then a couple of raindrops hit my computer, and I retreated inside, and now it's like actively pouring out there. Today has been more of like an editing day than a writing day. So I'm really trying to tweak some stuff and fine tune it and get it to a place where I'm happy with it. And hopefully that happens. On Thursday evening, my friend had an extra ticket to the Hozier concert, so he offered it to me and I was able to go with him. Thankfully, by the evening, the rain had kind of moved out of the area and we were able to have a good time, which is good because we were out on the lawn and had no protection from the elements. And really quite a distance from Hozier, as you can see from this dramatic zoom. But it was still a great concert and I had a really good time. And then on Friday, I did a little more writing outside. There was this squirrel who was just staring me down the whole time. It was a little intimidating, but I did my best to work. During the weekend, on Saturday, my wife and I hopped on the Red Line and we went down to Chinatown to check out the Chinatown Summer Fair, which is a street festival here in Chicago. It was a lot of fun walking around. It was a little weird that it was sponsored by McDonald's. Because there was these like awesome lion dancers that you can see here, but then Grimace is just kind of lurking in the background, which I think is kind of funny. And then I've also been spending some time building a Lego set. When I'm doing writing, I also like to have just like something tactile to work on so that I'm not just like staring down a computer the whole time, or all the time really. But this set is huge. It's like 350 pages with the instruction booklet. And it's going to take me a while to build, but I'm determined to get it done. And then to cap off the weekend, my wife and I went on a bike ride around sunset on Sunday evening. We ended up at one of my favorite spots in the city where you have such a great view of the downtown skyline. You know, summer is one of the only times that it's pleasant to actually live in Chicago, so we try to take full advantage of it and get outside as much as possible. So that was my first writing vlog. I hope you enjoyed it. I hope it was interesting and engaging. I would like to make more vlog style content in the future, although I do find it a bit challenging since so much of writing is just internal work of sitting at a computer and typing up words, and it's a question of how do you make that interesting and engaging for a viewer. But I hope this was those things. In the end, I did end up putting together just a little packet with the pitch and a few sample chapters that I sent along to my agent just to see how she's feeling about the idea and if she thinks the project is worth pursuing. I hope it is, but there's so many factors at play with, is this right for the market at this time? Yada, yada, yada. Stuff that she really knows more about than me. So I'm intrigued to hear her feedback and to see what she thinks. And if it's not right, we'll just pivot to something else. That's how it goes sometimes. But again, I hope you like this vlog. If you're interested in this type of content, I make other videos where I talk about writing and the creative process in general. I talk about my personal writing journal. I don't talk about my journal. I talk about my journey. I tend to not share my journal on here. That tends to be a little personal. I don't want you guys knowing who my crushes are, okay? But anyway, if you're interested in this type of content, I hope you'll consider subscribing. I'll see you on the next one.